When you see flamingos frozen on one leg in the middle of a mirror-like salt lake, it seems these birds have arrived from some surreal dream. Their delicate pink plumage, graceful silhouettes, and unusual behavior make flamingos among the most recognizable and mysterious creatures in nature. But behind this seeming simplicity lies a whole world of amazing adaptations and incredible abilities. Let's dive into 10 of the most fascinating facts about these extraordinary birds. 1. Pink color is not genetics, it's culinary. Imagine this: a newborn flamingo looks like an ordinary chick, grayish, plain, completely unremarkable. No hint of that stunning pink beauty we're accustomed to seeing. The secret of their signature coloring lies not in genes, but in their menu. Flamingos spend entire days filtering water in search of tiny shrimp, crustaceans, and blue-green algae. All these organisms are rich in carotenoids, the same pigments that make carrots orange and tomatoes red. When flamingos digest their food, carotenoids are broken down by liver enzymes and deposited in feathers, skin, and even fat. The richer and more diverse the diet, the brighter and more saturated the bird's coloring becomes. A pale flamingo in a colony isn't a separate species, but simply a bird with an insufficiently nutritious diet. In zoos, keepers specifically add carotenoid supplements to feed so their charges don't lose their famous color. Interestingly, during breeding season, males and females with more saturated coloring are considered more attractive. Bright feathers signal health and the ability to find quality food. 2. An upside-down world: how to eat head down. If you've ever watched a feeding flamingo, you've surely noticed their strange eating manner. The bird lowers its head into the water so that the beak is completely upside down, the upper part below, the lower above. This isn't a quirk, but nature's ingenious engineering solution. A flamingo's beak is a true biomechanical marvel. Inside it are rows of tiny plates called lamellae that work like a sieve. The bird scoops up water along with mud and algae, then a powerful muscular tongue begins working like a piston, pumping this mixture through the filtering system. Water and mud exit, while all the edible bits, crustaceans, insect larvae, diatom algae, remain inside. In one day, a single flamingo can filter several liters of water. This unique feeding system allows flamingos to exploit ecological niches unavailable to most other birds. While other feathered creatures hunt fish or gather seeds, flamingos methodically vacuum shallow waters, extracting nutrients from seemingly empty water. 3. Pink bird megacities. If you think you've seen large gatherings of birds, wait until you learn about flamingo colonies in East Africa. Imagine Lake Nakuru in Kenya or Lake Natron in Tanzania, where the shores literally transform into a moving pink sea. More than 1 million birds gather together, creating one of the most impressive natural spectacles on the planet. These giant colonies aren't accidental. Flamingos are social creatures who only feel safe in the company of their kind. A large flock means more eyes to detect predators and more opportunities for successful reproduction. When 1 million birds simultaneously begin courtship dances, the spectacle resembles a perfectly synchronized ballet. Scientists still don't fully understand how the birds coordinate their movements so precisely, as if controlled by a single mind. 4. The one-leg mystery: thermoregulation or energy conservation. This is perhaps the most recognizable flamingo pose, a bird standing on one leg with the other tucked beneath itself, as if immersed in meditation. Scientists have long debated the reasons for this behavior, and there's still no definitive answer. The most popular theory relates to thermoregulation. A flamingo's legs, long, thin, and devoid of feathers, represent a significant surface area for heat loss. When the bird stands in cold water or wind, heat quickly escapes from the body. By tucking one leg, the flamingo reduces the contact area with the cold environment by half, conserving precious energy. But there's an alternative hypothesis. Recent studies have shown that standing on one leg may be connected to a passive joint locking mechanism that requires minimal muscular effort. In other words, for flamingos, standing on one leg might actually be easier than standing on two. The bird simply clicks the joint into a certain position and rests, spending almost no energy maintaining balance. Perhaps the truth lies in the middle, and both mechanisms work together. 5. Anatomical deception: invisible knees. Look at a flamingo. and it'll seem like its knees bend the wrong way, backward instead of forward. But here's a surprise: what you take for a knee is actually the ankle joint. A flamingo's true knees are located very high, almost at the body, and are completely hidden under feathers. This means that the entire long leg we see is essentially the foot and toes. Flamingos walk on tiptoes. Their true anatomy more closely resembles a human standing on point shoes. This construction gives them an enormous advantage. Long legs allow them to feed in deeper sections of water bodies inaccessible to competitors, while tall stature provides better visibility for detecting predators. Nature created flamingos as ideal shallow water inhabitants, elegant, tall, and perfectly adapted to their niche. 6. Parental milk from the esophagus. When we think of milk, mammals come to mind. But flamingos are among the few birds that produce a milk analog to feed their chicks. True, this isn't real milk in the conventional sense, but a special nutritious liquid called crop milk. This substance is produced by glands lining the upper part of the digestive tract, in both parents. The liquid has a thick consistency and pinkish red color, thanks to those same carotenoids, and is incredibly nutritious. It contains up to 23% protein and 9% fat. For comparison, cow's milk has only about 3% protein. Parents regurgitate this milk directly into the chick's beak, providing all necessary substances for rapid growth. What's especially touching, both parents participate in feeding with equal dedication. Moreover, during critical periods, milk production is so intense that adult birds lose their bright coloring, becoming pale. They literally give chicks nutritional substances from their own bodies. After feeding is complete, parents again begin actively feeding and restore their pink color. 7. Clay volcano architects. Flamingo nests aren't just a pile of twigs on the ground. They're true engineering structures created for survival in extreme conditions. Birds build cone-shaped platforms 12 to 24 inches high from mud, dirt, pebbles, and shells. Each nest resembles a miniature volcano with a depression on top for a single egg. Why such complexity? It's all about the harsh conditions of nesting sites. Flamingos choose isolated sections of salt lakes and lagoons for colonies, where there are virtually no predators. But these places are subject to flooding and sharp temperature fluctuations. A tall nest protects the egg from floods, while its clay walls work as a thermoregulator. They prevent overheating in scorching heat and retain warmth during cold nights. Both parents participate in construction, methodically tamping down material with their beaks and feet. Building one nest can take several days. In a colony numbering hundreds of thousands of birds, these nests stand so close to each other that the landscape transforms into a city of miniature towers, a truly fantastic sight. 8. Ballet of a million dancers. Flamingo courtship rituals are one of the most mesmerizing phenomena in nature. Thousands of birds simultaneously perform complex synchronized movements. They extend their necks, flap their wings, march in groups, quickly turn their heads from side to side. All this happens in perfect coordination, as if choreographers had conducted hours of rehearsals with them. This synchronicity isn't accidental. It serves several functions. First, mass dances stimulate hormonal activity throughout the colony, synchronizing reproductive cycles. When thousands of birds begin reproducing at approximately the same time, this increases chicks' chances of survival. Predators simply can't physically eat them all. Second, synchronous behavior helps repel potential enemies. Imagine yourself as a predator who sees a million huge pink birds suddenly begin moving as a single organism. That can make an impression. Scientists believe flamingos use visual signals to coordinate movements. Each bird watches several neighbors and copies their actions, creating a wave effect that spreads through the entire colony at speeds up to several meters per second. 9. Unexpected masters of the sky. Watching flamingos awkwardly stepping with long legs through shallow water, it's hard to imagine these birds are excellent flyers. But once they take to the air, awkwardness instantly transforms into grace. During migrations, flamingos can cover hundreds of miles without stopping, reaching speeds of 30 to 40 miles per hour. Their flight is a spectacle of particular beauty, long necks and legs stretched in a straight line, wings beating steadily, and below them stretch desert landscapes or endless water expanses. Interestingly, flamingos prefer to make long flights at night. This helps avoid daytime heat and predatory birds. Navigation in darkness presents no problem for them. Birds orient by stars and possibly use Earth's magnetic field. During flight, the flock maintains a characteristic V formation, which reduces air resistance and conserves energy. 10. Methuselahs among the feathered. In the bird world, flamingos are true long livers. In the wild, where predators, diseases, and unpredictable environmental changes await them, they live an average of 20 to 30 years, an impressive lifespan for birds of this size. But in zoo conditions, where quality nutrition, veterinary care, and absence of predator threats are ensured, flamingos regularly live to 50 years, and some individuals even surpass this milestone. The most famous example of longevity is a flamingo named Grater, who lived in Adelaide Zoo in Australia for at least 83 years. This is an absolute record for the species. Such longevity makes flamingos contemporaries of many humans. A bird born at the beginning of the last century could have witnessed 2 world wars, the invention of computers, and human spaceflight. Flamingos are much more than just beautiful pink birds for postcards. They're living examples of evolutionary ingenuity, creatures who have turned extreme, almost uninhabitable places into their safe homes. Their unique adaptations, from upside-down feeding to the ability to live near poisonous salt lakes, demonstrate nature's amazing flexibility and resilience. Next time you see a flamingo, remember, before you stands not just an elegant bird, but a true master of survival who, over millions of years of evolution, has learned to thrive where others wouldn't survive. If you enjoyed these facts about flamingos, subscribe to the channel.